Strawberry story time!
Welcome back, little berries. Are you ready for a story? Well, today's story is called The Crafty Chameleon. It's written and illustrated by Francesca Watt, and she's asked me to read her story to you. I wonder why the chameleon is so crafty. Shall we go and find out? Come on!
Out on the corner seeking his prey, Cody Chameleon waited all day. Inside his van he kept all sorts of things. He had squawks, he had stripes, he even had wings. He preyed on animals who really stood out, who didn't fit in and were filled with self-doubt. The most insecure he would always find, because the crafty chameleon was mean and unkind. Up slunk an extremely sad-looking fellow. He was strong, he was bold, and a soft golden yellow. He had a wild mane and fierce-looking eyes. He didn't look like he needed a disguise. "What can I get you on this glorious day? Sunglasses? Mane gel? What do you say?" The golden lion began to speak, but instead of a roar, it was merely a squeak. The chameleon laughed. "Don't worry, fella, I've got just the thing. You'll soon sound stellar." A few moments later, he did reappear. "With this contraption, you'll always strike fear. No one will laugh at you any more. Just press this button if you want to roar. A steal for the bargain price of just £30. A pleasure doing business. I'll see you around." Now Cody had spotted his very next mark, a balding bear who he circled like a shark. "My, oh my, what have we here? A bear with no fare? Don't you have any fear? I have just the thing in the back of my van. I'll be quicker than a shrew devouring slug flan." He leapt out, grasping a fake fur coat, and handed it over in exchange for a note. Next he saw a leopard without any spots, so he pulled out a brush and painted some dots. "Much better!" the greedy chameleon exclaimed, and he chuckled at the easiest money he'd made. The crafty chameleon continued all day. He sold sparkly fairy wings to a huge bird of prey. A sorry-looking elephant bought a tube for a trunk, and he helped a rhinoceros with a horn that had shrunk. His last customer, before the day drew to a close, was a scaly alligator with a very large nose. But when the huge gator's jaws opened wide, there wasn't a single tooth left inside. "You'll never scare anyone with a snap like that. I've got some lovely false teeth right here in the back." The alligator tried them, seemed a little unsure. Cody took his money and slammed the van door, and before the alligator could even shout "Hey!" the crafty chameleon had driven away. But the very next day, as Chameleon waited for more foolish animals easily baited, along came Lion, whose batteries were flat, and Rhino, who said that his horn had gone snap. Leopard spots were gone, and she didn't look happy. Even without teeth, Gator looked snappy. Bear had been teased for her leopard print coat, and Elephant's trunk didn't work as he'd hoped. The bird threw his fairy wings down on the floor, and they shouted, "We don't want this junk anymore." "Whoa, whoa, whoa! Let's not be rash. I've got some new stuff that has caused quite the splash. I only sell quality goods, I assure. Maybe something different. I have a brochure." Leopard peered at the glossy book. alligator shifted for a closer look. "What are you doing?" the lion did squeak. "You're fine as you are. You're simply unique. Don't trust him. He only wants money." The chameleon laughed. "You do sound so funny." The animals looked angry. "We love how he sounds." The lion, surprised, realised what he'd found. "We might be unusual. We might not fit in. We're not all chameleons who can just change on a whim. But we're different. We're special. And we should be proud. And together, I think, that we make quite the crowd. We're all beautiful or fierce in our very own ways. It doesn't matter what anyone else says." They faced the chameleon, who retreated in haste. "Selling this tat is in terrible taste. All you do is con and deceive. No refunds," he mumbled as he stumbled to leave. But the animals just smiled as they could finally see they were exactly as they were meant to be. And as for that crafty chameleon, he got his comeuppance after all.
Did you like that story? The Crafty Chameleon. He was a little bit crafty, wasn't he? Selling all those faulty goods. Thanks for listening, guys. Don't forget to ask your grown-up to subscribe and follow me on Instagram to find out what our next stories are going to be. See you then. Bye!
Don't forget to subscribe.